Going live, going live. Yay, it worked. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the weekly What's Up in Makeup community chats. My name is Jen. You're on my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I have a hair in my face. I've been trying to hurry up and take my nail polish off. So if you see my arms going like this, my nail polish looks really, really bad. It's been on for a week and it's less than $5 nail polish. So it was not looking good. So I'm trying to take it off. So you see me going like this. Anyway, hello, my friends. Welcome to the weekly What's Up in Makeup chat. We do these every Sunday that I'm able, and we usually do them at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I get that question a lot. When do you do chat? I want to join. So that's when we do chat. The reason why we don't do it later is because Sunday is my family day. And if I do it too much later, then it cuts into our time. So if we're out, I have to run home and do chat instead of continuing whatever activity we're doing. So that's why they don't happen later. Because I'm on Eastern time and I feel really bad that it's really early for the West Coast people. But for now, this is kind of what I'm doing. So anyway, thanks so much for being here. And thank you to everybody that supported my collab with Candles by Victoria or planning on supporting. We're going to be talking about that. And we'll be talking about any other hot topics that you all want to talk about. I'm really excited for chat today. But before we get into chats, let's go ahead and say hello to the people that are here in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, also known as the live chat. If you're here watching on the replay, you are also part of the collect. My husband's here coughing, sneezing. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. If you're also here in the collective brain on the replay, definitely you are also part of the live chat. And well, not live, but you're also part of the chat and you're also part of the collective brain. You're just going to participate in the comments down below. So I'm going to go ahead and say good morning to the first people that were here. Good morning to Crystal and Teresa M.O., one of our brand new, stinking new reporters. We have not had new reporters on the reporting team in well over a year. And we just got 3 new reporters. Some of our reporters had to leave us for various reasons, and very, very excited to welcome Teresa to the team. We also have Tiffany PK on the team now. Really, really excited to have them. So thank you so much, ladies, for a wonderful, wonderful first week with the crew. So thank you for being here. Crystal, good morning to you. I already said good morning. Tiffany, good morning. Jennifer, good morning. Amber, good morning. Rose Kiki in the house. Good morning to you. Denise and Stevie's girl, so good to see you. Kind of new here. Welcome back. Amber and Banshee Muse, so good to see you. And Consuelo, Jesse, Nadine, good to see you. Michelle Wong in the house. Michelle Wong, if you do not know her, has a fantastic YouTube channel. I did shout out her channel in my YouTubers under 100,000 subscribers that you really should be watching because they're amazing. And Michelle is amazing, especially if you enjoy luxury cosmetic reviews. She's fantastic. All right. Let's see. Did I miss him? If I didn't say good morning to you, we're just going to end it there. So thank you so much for being here. So I wanted to talk first a little bit about my candle collab with Candles by Victoria. I wanted to do something different. I thought about different companies that I could reach out to about the, doing a collab. And I wanted to do something that, give you a little behind the scenes. I wanted to do something that was different. I wanted to do something that I thought that a lot of people would love. Even though, maybe we have these huge makeup collections or maybe, we have enough makeup, we don't need more makeup. I thought that candles would be something that you could purchase for yourself, purchase for a gift. There's so many, times where a candle might be an appropriate purchase. So, and I absolutely love Candles by Victoria. I found them over the summer. I'll tell the story again. The people that are in Periscope have heard this, I think, 3 times. But I was over the last summer, we were in Vail, Colorado, and my kids were playing on the playground, and my daughter needed to go to the bathroom. And there was no, in the little area we were in, it was like a little shopping area. It was absolutely beautiful. This big pirate ship. And if you live in that area, you probably know what I'm talking about. And I think it was Vail. It was in Vail. And then all there was this bar nearby for her to go to the bathroom. There was I don't know why they don't put a restaurant that's more kid appropriate by the pirate ship. I don't know. But anyway, so we were walked her to the back of this bar to use the bathroom. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm standing outside and I'm scrolling through Instagram. And somehow I saw Candles by Victoria and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, those look so cool. And I ran outside when my daughter was done. We went outside and I showed my husband, I was like, look at these cool candles. They're so neat. So when we got home, I think it was late August, I placed my first order and I got them. I was like, oh, And I did do over $100 because over $100 you do get free shipping. So, which I forgot to mention in the video. So I ordered some candles. I got them. I love them. It was around Christmas. Well, I got some Christmas candles because, well, like fall Christmas, because it was like end of August. I was like, I'll get fall candles. So I got, oh, my pumpkin pecan waffles, and I got grandma's porch, and like the ones that are like more fall scented. And I burned those all through the fall. And then I got another order for like more Christmas candles. So I got Christmas stuff. And then I recently got another order because I wanted to try more of her scent. So I got a lot of the 4-ounce candles, the ones that I showed in the video. So I could try a bunch of the scents that sounded interesting without having to spend a lot on a big candle, you know, kind of like a sampler set. She has a lot of sampler sets over there. Absolutely love those. And I was like, man, like how cool would it be? Like, 'cause I've always wanted to do a collab where I could give back to education somehow, you know, low income kids somehow, because there's like this, like, I don't know, this section of my heart that's dedicated to low income students. There's just so much, you know, when you're a low income parent, you know, and or a low person that has low income, there are so many stressors that people that aren't low income don't understand. like I can't even fully understand. I mean, I was low income for a while, but not with kids, you know, like when I had like a really low income, when I was living, you know, paycheck to paycheck, when I was waiting tables and just counting on those tips to pay my bills, you know, and, you know, using that overdraft protection and all that, you know, that the amount of stress of, can I feed my family this week? Can I pay my bills this week? Is our water going to is our electricity going to get shut off? Am I going to get evicted? Like all of those things weigh on these families so hard, and all of that is out of these kids' control, and they go through so much. And some of the parents, not all of course, but some of the parents just don't have the role models in their own lives. I mean, this is everybody. I mean, there's more wealthy families that have the same situation, but their parental role models were not good. So when they raise their kids, they may not have that background or the access to the education of how to best help their kids, and they don't realize what they're doing. And these kids are like, you know, coming to school with all this baggage. That's kind of the best way I can describe it. But it's such a crazy, crazy life, you know, as a kid, you know, with your parents working 3 jobs, you know, and never being home because they're trying to put food on the table. And they're when they do come home, they can't talk to you because they're just so stressed out because they've been working all day and they just want to sleep. It's a whole nother life. But anyway, I went on that way too long. So anyway, that's what I wanted to do, was to donate to the school so they could help these low income kids. All right. That was a really long story. So anyway, so update on the collab. Victoria did email me, not yesterday, but the day before. And she said that we have raised over $1,000, inching toward $1,500 for, well, I guess it was close to $1,500 for the school so far, which is incredible. I haven't talked to anybody at the school about, you know, how much we've raised so far. I did talk to the principal briefly and just ask him if he would be okay with accepting the donation. He said that that was fine to accept a donation. But I haven't talked to anybody about the actual, you know, how the collab's going yet. So anyway, they're still available. Unfortunately, because of the volume of orders and because they're not machines, they're humans that are handcrafting and making these, the shipping times have gone up quite a bit. They're up to, I think it's 3 weeks shipping, processing time. And then they have to ship them. So we're looking at like probably a month before you'll get anything you order at this point. One good thing though is that they're not limited edition. They are going to be available. And then the donation isn't just for these candles that people were asking. The donation isn't just these candles. And I talked about it in the video, but I think some people get busy or they get distracted. It's anything on the entire website as long as you click through using my link. Anything on the whole website you can purchase. So anyway, I'm really excited about this, in case you can't tell, because I've gone on about it for 9 minutes. So I'm sorry I've been going on for so long, but I'm so excited and I'm so happy for BHES. I mean, I'm just over the moon. Thank you to everybody who's purchased from Candles by Victoria using my link. I just appreciate you so much. And I hope you love your candles. I know that you will. Like, I know that you will. And it's funny because people are asking, like in the comments, has anybody else tried these candles? And it's like 100% satisfaction rating. The only thing is the ship times. The ship times do take a while. That's the only thing. And then some people were saying that the scents were a bit strong, but that was all I read. Like, so... But you have to use the link that's in the collab video. You can't just go straight there, or else it won't count, because it's like an affiliate link. So when you like click on so-and-so's link or whatever, and that it gives them money or whatever when you use their link, it's like that. That's why there's no code needed. So when you go to the website, you'll see it says something Jen at the end. It says like when you go to the website and you click on it, you see the website, you'll see my name at the end, and that's how you know you're at the right place. Okay. Banshee says, wouldn't you want the scents to be strong? I think for most people, I think that if you live like in an apartment, like there was one person that says that she lived in an apartment, so she's not allowed to burn candles. So she was going to get some melt, which I think is a really good idea for a small space. It's just some people just don't like that strong of a scent in a small place. So that would be why, but they're really strong. Oh, that Amber chick just tuning in, but congrats on the collab. It's about time. So happy for you. Thank you so much. Yes, 10% of the school. It's 15. It's 15% total. So when I contacted her, I said, what commission, will we be working with? And she said, we could do 15%. I said, well, how about 10% of the school and 5% of the channel? And she was like, yeah, that sounds good. So that's what we're doing. So she's giving the 15% to me, and then I'm taking the 10% and I'm bringing it to the school. Mm-hmm. Sherry Slaughter, some scents give people headaches. That's true. Maria says, I was showing the site to my husband last night and I told him I'm picking out Christmas gifts now. There you go. That works. Or, even if you wanted to wait a few months, like if you don't have, want to get them yet, you can always wait. She does recommend that after you get them, that you wait a very short period of time to help them to finish curing. There's a bunch of FAQs on her website, but one of the things that she recommends, which I don't always listen to because I'm impatient, is that you let them kind of sit for like 5 days in your house before you burn them, just to get the most scent out of them. But sometimes I burn them early. Lauren says, I ordered 2 when the video went up and I'm really excited about them. A little worried I might have went overboard with the scents I picked, but we'll see. Really and truly, there's only been, I think there was one scent where I was kind of like, meh, and it was the blue cotton candy one, where I didn't really feel like it smelled like blue cotton candy. That was the only one. Like, it still smelled really good. It smelled really sweet, but I didn't think it smelled like blue cotton candy. But other than that, I got one of the sampler packs of the jelly jars, and like every other one, like I've been like, yes, like, and none of them did I smell. And I was like, every one, I loved the way that it smelled. It was just that one didn't smell like blue cotton candy to me. I don't know. I don't know how you capture blue cotton candy in a jar, but I don't know how you can't capture caramel popcorn in a jar, and she can do that. So. But really and truly, they're so good. They're so good. Cheryl says reed diffusers would be great for the bathroom. She does have reed diffusers, I do believe. Jen says, don't be ashamed for being happy that the kids are getting him. Oh, yeah. I'm not ashamed. I'm very proud. Very, very proud. Mid-Atlantic girl, I live in a small apartment and I love to burn candles. Are all the scents strong? There was one, and I can't remember what it was. I just remember it was yellow. Oh, but there was one that was a little more mild. But I can't remember what it was because I burned it. It's gone now. Sorry. It is very overwhelming on the site, though. There's so many scents. I would love if she figured out a way to have like a scent finder, like where you could like go on and you could say, I want scents that are this, kind of like Scentbird, not to bring up Scentbird. Oh gosh. But like they have a really good fragrance picker, where if you want more sweet scents, if you want more, and you can like select different things and it'll filter it for you for the different scents. That would be super cool, but they don't have that over there. They do have when you're ordering, like the ones that I don't have any up here anymore, but the ones where they have the jars where you can pick the scents. They have a drop-down menu where you can pick, but there's hundreds of scents there, so you kind of have to flip through. But the search one thing I meant to mention in the video, the search function is really good. There is a little search thing. So if you're looking specifically for, let's say, a strawberry scent or a chocolate scent or a cinnamon scent or whatever it is, you can type cinnamon into the search and it'll filter the scents by that. So you can kind of flip through. And what I usually do is just kind of jot down some notes of the ones that I like. And then when I order, I have them right there. Michelle says, I can't decide which candle I'm going to get. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I missed the rest of it because it skipped down. I accidentally touched it and I lost the rest of the comment. Oh, Nicole ordered hers. Thank you, Nicole, from Yay or Nay. Nicole, definitely check out her YouTube channel as well. Lupe says, much too pretty to burn. I agree, but I do burn them. And they do end up looking flat like normal candles, sadly. After you burn them down, they do just look like regular candles. They just look flat and colored. Shirley, I'm completely overjoyed for you, Jen. Just think a while ago, we were praying for the YouTube play button, and now you have a collab. It's so cool, right? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's really cool. I mean, like I said this on Twitter, you know, I've met every goal on YouTube that I wanted to meet. I set a few goals that I wanted to meet after I quit teaching. I was like, I want to do this, 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 and this. And I met all my goals. So now everything from here on is bonus. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I'm just going to keep creating content and keep having fun. And hopefully you keep enjoying it. And I'm going to keep challenging myself to make the channel better and better. But as far as like growth and, you know, all that stuff, I've met all my goals. I'm good. I'm happy. Things are good. I can't complain. There you go. Tab's got a link up. Thank you, Tab. Appreciate you. Seems Real said it'll be a couple of weeks, but that milkshake one has my name on it. Yes, you know what? Little John wanted to burn that one, and I meant to bring it up to show you. You know what's really cool about the milkshake one? You know how I talked about how like the mess like kind of goes everywhere the first time you burn it, it just like overflows. You just peel off the wax. Once it cools, it's super easy to just peel the pieces off, and then you can take the pieces and you can put them in your wax warmer if you want. Or sometimes what I do when it gets like a well of wax is I'll take like the stuff that fell off, and don't do this, especially if it's not safe, I admit it, but I'll take the wax and I'll start dropping it in and watching the wax melt, like the little pieces off the front came off of the side. But anyway, what I was thank my husband. Thank you, babe. You're amazing. Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you. So we burned this all day, like yesterday, and we might have burned it some the day before, and that's how far down it is, because remember, it was mounded up a little bit. We still have our little thing. But anyway, what I was going to say about this is the straw was in here, right? So you take the straw out and it leaves a hole. So when you light it and it starts to get to the point where it might overflow, all the wax drips down into the hole and fills it up so that it looks like that. And it never overflowed. Yes! I thought that was really cool. And then it was really neat for a little John to see that too and watch the wax like flow into the hole. It was super cool. But anyway, I'm easily amused. He's amazing. Best husband ever. So, yeah. Oh, Justin, I cried right along with you in your announcement video. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Justin. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Oh, Morgan says, you're my favorite channel. I can't wait to buy some candles. Thank you, Morgan. Angie just got in. I'm so beyond excited and happy for you. You're truly amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I was so nervous. And I don't like keeping my own secrets. Like I'm really, really good at keeping other people's secrets. I'm not so good at keeping my own. Like I have a big mouth when it comes to something that only affects me. So like, I wanted to tell you guys about this for like a while. So it's nice to finally have it out so I can talk to you guys about it. So. But anyway, I should probably like start getting ready and stuff. We're 18 minutes in. Shannon, can you get any scent in the tiny jar candles? Yes, you can. You can get any scent you want. And one thing I didn't realize over there as I start, I'm not going to do any base today. I just don't feel like wearing foundation today. I'm not in a foundation kind of mood, so we're just going to use a little bit of concealer and move on from there. One thing that's really cool is they have a lot of shapes of the melts. I didn't realize how many shapes they had. They have these cute little macaroon, I don't know what you call them, the little sandwichy cookie things that are French, whenever they're going. They have really, really cute little melts that look like those. And they sell them in jars, so you can get like a jar of owls, a jar of leaves, a jar of snowflakes, a jar of whatever. There's so many different kinds. Jar of pumpkins. Super cool. But yeah, and you can do anything in any scent. Like they have another thing they have which is cool is they have like what you call it. This is, by the way, is the Urban Decay Naked Skin. It's just when I want something a little less coverage. They have like more masculine scents, and they have like perfume scents and cologne scents. So if you want something that's a little bit more, cologne smelling, you can get something like that. And they have like the clean cotton scents and all that stuff too. They have all that. Like really anything you can possibly think of. Let me go to her website and just like give you like an idea. I'm going to just to give you an idea. So when I click on her website, people are having trouble finding my candles through mobile. She said that there's no problem with the mobile site, that she's able to find them. I wasn't able to find them on the mobile site. So I don't know what's going on as far as finding my candles on mobile. Just try to get to a desktop, please. I'm sorry. But you can just go to their website and then you click on Coffee Cup Cuties to find my candles. But again, it's anything on the site as long as you go through my link. And you know you're on my link when it says Jen. When you click on it, it says Jen at the end of the URL. So like when I get to her website, like these are the first scents: 007, 7-Up Pound Cake, Seventh Heaven, a hunk of burning nuts, Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce, Afternoon Breeze, Tori, which it says it's a mix of Lovebirds and Tokyo Springs, which then you would look up Lovebirds and Tokyo Springs to see what those are. Alabama Slamma, Alice Cullen, because they have a Twilight line, Almond Pastry, Aloha, Amaretto Eggnog, Amazing Grace, Amber Romance, Amish Quilt, Angel Food Cake, Angel's Whisper, Anjou Pear. And then it goes into the apples: Apple Butter Festival, Apple Cherry, Apple Cider, Apple Cinnamon Butter, Apple Cobbler. And then it just goes into like 10 different apple scents. So it's like, and that's the first page. And then it's got pages and pages and pages and pages. So if I go to, let's say, the fifth page is still on B. Blackcurrant, black velvet, blackberry caramel rice pudding, blackberry cheesecake brownies, blackberry fizz, blackberry jam butter cookie, blackberry raspberry vanilla, blackberry sage, blackberry walnut, blackbird pie. You see what I'm saying? Like it just goes on and on and on, but it's cool. It's really cool. They do have a Twilight line. They have one that's like the way that Edward described Bella. It's called Bella Swan. And it's whatever he said in the book was the way that she smelled. And they made a candle that supposedly smells like that, which sounds really cool. I don't know. I read the Twilight books a long, long time ago, but I don't remember them very well. I'm trying to find my brow brush. There we go. Because we're going to do a little bit of brow action. And we're going to use, I've been using this pretty much every time I do my brows, a Foolproof Brow Powder by Benefit. It's definitely my favorite. Darcy says, good morning. I'm a new sub and I absolutely love your channel. I'll be getting a lot of these melts for Christmas presents. Oh, thank you so much. And I now have the link. My affiliate link is going to be underneath all of my videos. So, I have like on the bottom of my videos, I have an affiliate link section down at the bottom. So this is going to be added. So you'll be able to find my affiliate link under any of my videos. So if you're going to shop at Candles by Victoria, pop into any one of my videos, go down to the bottom, click my link, and it doesn't cost you any extra. Like it's going to be the same price for you, so might as well have some donation to the school and then also to the channel if you want. Well, I guess you don't really have a choice if you click the link. But, it doesn't cost you any extra. It's just an extra step. I try to like make sure. Oh, Lindsay says, she said Alice Cullen is limited edition. Really? Oh, I didn't realize that. Thank you for sharing that information. I didn't know that. M says, I found Coffee Cup Cuties on mobile by going to the bottom of the page and selecting sitemap. Thank you, M. Thank you so much for that. Justin, Jen, if you haven't tried the new Urban Decay razor brow thingy, you got to try that. Totally see you loving that. You know what? I got the other one. I got not the razor one, but I got the other one, the one with the brow gel on the other side. I didn't like it. It was okay. I'm working on my my first impression roundup, my cuter poop roundup of all those first impressions I did last month. I'm going to film that this week. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do my drugstore skincare routine this week because I've gotten so many requests for my drugstore skincare routine, and I'm finally ready to share it with you. I like to spend a good 2-3 months in a skincare routine before I share it with you. So Joanna says, I love having your videos in the background when I'm planning lessons. Right now I'm planning a biology lesson. Girl, you go, girl. You keep fighting that good fight. That's what I call it when, teachers, it's fighting the good fight, man. Yes. Good for you, man. Keep rocking. Keep fighting that good fight. Lindsay says, she said it because the raspberry scent supplier is running out. Gotcha. I can't even imagine. Like, I would love, like, if I ever make it to Texas, I would love to go visit Victoria and like see how in the world she even fills orders. Like, how do you even do that when you're pouring to order? Like, okay, so like now she's got, all these orders in or whatever. Like, does she like organize it first? Like, and like, okay, I've got, 50 of, or, 20 of this candle. We've got 10 of this one. So let's make this big of a batch or whatever. Like, how do you even like begin to tackle something like that? Like, I would love to know what her process is as far as like actually filling orders. Queen Anna, is the collab affiliation permanent? I believe so. I don't see any end to it. I can't say, of course, you can't predict the future, but I have no intentions of ever ending it. It's hard to, I don't like to say that it is permanent, but because you never know what's going to happen, but I have no intentions of ending it ever. So, JP says maybe you could invite Victoria to one of your chats. That would be cool. That would be super cool because she has a YouTube channel. If you search in YouTube for Candles by Victoria, you'll find her YouTube channel and you can meet her and her husband, Candleman. And then her daughter Chelsea also works on the candles and everything. And I think Chelsea's husband's involved somehow too, I think. Lindsay says her warehouse has to be huge. It's not. It's not because they don't have any storage. They make everything to order. So you can go on, I think she has either a video or there's pictures on her website of like their workspace. It's just like a big long wooden table with like, storage contain like all the different kinds of containers and all that stuff. Like it's just really, they're just working off this huge long wooden table. But they don't have to store anything. They have their store where they pour, and then they sell them in their store. But they don't have a big warehouse because they don't have a lot of stuff to store. Thank you, Gigi. It's nice, Gigi, to find Jen's candle. Copy the site URL and enter it in. Yep. It says google.com/advanced_search with the word teacher, and the teacher's pet comes up on mobile. Thank you so much, Gigi. Or you can go to that site map that M said, which is super cool. Jennifer says, my dad was an art teacher late in life and retired, but went back to it like 3 years ago and then just retired again this past year. The amount of cool stories that people were leaving for me about, that they were a child who came from a low-income family, or they currently are, a parent of a child, that has a disability, or, their mom was a teacher, or their aunt was a teacher, or their husband's a teacher. It's the amount of cool stories. Like if you want to just read a bunch of really cool stories, go to the comments of that video. It's really nice, like really cool. Okay, before I picked out the shirt, I picked out the Lorac Unzipped Unfiltered palette to put on. I'm not sure if I feel like wearing this now. I think I will. I think I'm just going to go for it. So we're going to do Unsweetened. Up in the crease. I'm still using these Units brushes. I love these things. These Units brushes that are from Beautylish, they sent me the line. I am loving them. They are wonderful. They remind me of my Sigma brushes, which is like more than twice the price. They're awesome. They're really, really good. So this is the Unit 114. Nice. Tab says, I'll have the direct links up by tomorrow on the Facebook group, which is What's Up in Makeup. If you search What's Up in Makeup on Facebook, and then the Where to Buy page on whatsupinmakeup.com. Thank you, Tab. Much appreciated. And Makeup Mama says, click the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner, then click desktop mode to see the entire site better. Thank you so much for that. Y'all are awesome. I love the collective brain, man. You guys are incredible. Like really and truly, like the amount of wonderful people we have in our community, it's just mind-boggling. So we're just going to do something super simple today. I don't feel like doing like something crazy. My daughter's birthday was yesterday. So because I was working, my husband was working, I got to take my daughter to the puppy store. We go and we pet the puppies at the puppy store and show them a little bit of love. So we went yesterday and did that. And then we went out to dinner and then we had cake, but we didn't really do like fun birthday stuff. So today she wanted to go to the movies to see that How to Train Your Dragon movie. So we're going to be doing that today. So I don't need to do like a ton of makeup. We're just going to do something super simple. Yeah, kind of new here. I'm in Iowa. I wish I could go to Texas or South in the winter. Yes. Like it's amazing. When we did our, this is turning into not really a Hot Topics video, but more of like, just like a community chat. What was it? Over spring break, we did, not spring break, winter break. We did our very first cruise. So my husband drove in our van from Florida all the way home to Maryland in less than 24 hours. I mean, I think it was like whatever, 14 hours, something like that. So we went from being in the Bahamas to being in Maryland in the middle of winter, like pretty quickly. So it was just it was really cool to like feel the climate change, you know, from being in the southern part of the United States home. By the time we got home, we were like bundled up in our coats. But like when we left, we were walking around in t-shirts, no jacket. It's crazy how temperature changes so quickly. Oh, by the way, I just put this in the crease, this guy right here, just to deepen it up a little bit. We're just doing something super simple. Okay. Let's skip down. Mid-Atlantic gal, schools need to stop pushing algebra and higher math. I took consumer math in high school and it helped me when it came to balancing a checkbook and figuring out percentages. One of the big problems I feel like in public education is they push rigor over value. So they push, okay, this needs to be hard. Like it's important for it to be hard and challenging and not necessarily valuable. And that is such an old school way to think about education. Like it's so annoying. And I agree with you. I think that there is some value to higher level math and that it helps your brain, especially as their brains are like kind of still developing in a way. It helps your brain to think in new directions. It helps you to become a better problem solver. I'm going back into unsweetened just to blend it a little bit up here, the lighter shade. It does help you to think in new ways, but the actual processes of higher level math, for some people, it's very valuable because they go into a career that requires that. But for the vast majority of people, it's completely useless. And I think I agree with you. I think like the consumer math, all of that stuff is really valuable. I think that, you know, especially in high school, even though I never taught high school, so I really, in the end, I have no right to say, you know, what it's like to be a high school teacher, what their curriculum's like. But I'm going to give my opinion anyway. I think that it needs to be structured around what's valuable for these kids when they graduate, rather than let's just make things really, really hard. You know what I mean? Like what is really going to help them to be successful in life? I guess you don't really need to balance a checkbook anymore, do you? I don't know. Is that a thing? Probably. Well, yeah, because you still need to be able to like budget. I think budgeting is really important, more than balancing a checkbook, but budgeting. Trisha says, hey, I had a question about the swipe test you do on your videos. Do you have a set amount of swipes you do for each set of swatches? Okay, so when I do the, as far as like the actual swatches, the first time is just one dip into the pan, bam, and then I go across. So one dip. And then sometimes I feel like I want to show you how the swatches build. So I'll do a second dip. So when you see it like cut, that's a second dip into the pan, you know, to see them build up. Because that is valuable to know whether they build or not. Now, as far as the wipe test, I'm really just taking the towel and just going like this. There isn't a specific number of wipes. It's really when I feel like the shadow has blended away. Because maybe because it really can't be scientific in that, you know, the pressure that I use can't really be regulated very well. You know, I use different towels sometimes because it depends on what's clean. So really it's not scientific in that way that I can't just change one variable in that I'm switching what eyeshadow I'm using. So I just kind of go like this until it looks like I'm not going to be able to wipe off any more product. So hopefully that helps. Valentine says, actually, they need a life skills class, budgeting, paying bills, parenting, long-term planning for retirement. I think a parenting class, like I know that seems kind of crazy to like teach high school kids parenting, but you know, I don't see anything wrong with teaching kids about how, like high school kids, about how children's brains work. I mean, I feel like even if you're like anybody can benefit, I think, from that information because, you know, you're dealing with children, no matter who you are, you have to deal with children in some capacity, whether it's just being in a store out in public or, you know, you maybe have nieces and nephews or whatever. Like, even if you don't have your own kids, understanding like child development, I think is important for everybody to understand, you know, if you could have a class on that. I don't know. I just think that that's important to understand how humans work so that you know what to expect of other humans in your life, whether they're children or adults. Nice. Amber says we have a parenting class in Canada. I think that it's like in America, from what I understand, it's like an elective kind of thing. Like it's something that you can choose to do or not. All right. So we're going to do Unplugged all over the lid, the shimmery guy. That's really pretty. That's exactly what I wanted today. Just something real, soft, and natural. There we go. Done. That worked well. That was a unit 124. It's kind of fluffy. I wasn't sure if it was going to pick up, but it did. Very good. Mid-Atlantic Gal says, I still use checks to pay rent. Yeah, and I think there are a lot of people that still use checks in general, but like, do you use a checkbook? Like, I remember when my husband and I were engaged and, you know, when I was in college and everything that we used, I had to balance my checkbook. Like, I had to balance like how much was in my account so I knew how much to spend. But like now, you can just go online and check all that stuff. I'm just using that dark brown, the authentic shade on my lower lash line. How many of those kids will wind up being parents? Exactly. And like, even though it may not be in the current plans, like having that knowledge in your back pocket and just knowing about that stuff, I think is super important. And I think that, you know, there isn't enough focus in our society on kids and like raising kids as a whole, as a society, you know, I don't know. Yeah, Strange Day says budgeting is something I never learned and I wish I had. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you know, we need to, I think in public education, we need to shift our focus to valuable over difficult, you know? And I think some of that comes from the home too. I think that like, at least in my area, we have a lot of affluent neighborhoods around us and they put so much pressure on their kids to do well in school so they can get into these really amazing colleges. But it's like, really, does all of that, like all that pressure, like what does that add up to? Like, where does that lead your kid? You know? Jennifer says, I see too many kids in retail jobs that can't even make change. It's like, it's crazy. Shirley says, my husband teaches karate, and so often we get calls asking if he accepts children with behavioral issues, and our door is wide open. Yes. Well, I mean, I think karate is something that's great for kids with behavioral issues. All right, this eyeliner is by Doll 10. It's a brown shade, and it's so pretty. This is so easy to use. I love this. This was sent to me in PR. This is the To The Point eyeliner by Doll 10. I should probably tell you the rest of the things if there's anything sent to me in PR. This was sent to me in PR, the Lorac. This was sent in PR, and this. So far, I think that's it. Yep, that's it so far. Taya says, even if you don't have kids, it would help people to learn how to deal with others' kids. Yes, absolutely. Because it's like dealing with a whole different level of kids, like a level of human, you know, you can't expect a 7-year-old to act like an adult. You know, they don't have the capacity. They can't. Like, unless you've got a very, very rare child that's just way mature beyond their age, you know, like, they're just, it's different. Their brains are developed differently. You know, and we're in this, like a lot of people are like still in this, you know, shut up and be quiet and sit still society, you know, but that's not what I mean, there are times that kids need to have self-control and be quiet, but you can't expect a 3-year-old to like sit still and be quiet all the time. It's just not going to happen. They just don't have that capacity, the majority of them. It's not developmentally appropriate. That's why I'm really, really thankful that I did some things in education. Well, I did some things. I like got a bunch of degrees in education because I feel like it's really helped me just in life and as a parent. All right, this is the Essence Lash Princess Sculpted Volume Mascara. It's a fantastic mascara. Yeah. Denise says, I have a grandchild with ADHD that's struggling in public school. Yeah. I mean, it's really hard. And I think that if our school system had a bit of a revamp, I think it would be easier for kids. But unfortunately, it's all about the rigor. It's all about making it difficult, not necessarily valuable. But that's not the teacher's fault. Teachers have, like, I don't think people realize how little control teachers have over what is taught in the classroom. Like, at least from my experience, there's very little control. Like, you teach what you're told. And if you don't, you get in big trouble. I mean, you have to teach the standards because that's what the kids are measured by. You know, which is in a way is a good thing. I mean, the standards are there for a reason. I just feel like the standards need to be tweaked for real life. Yeah, Lindsay says it's the same in college. Yep. Yep. Nikki says here in Canada, I find mandatory standardized testing a problem. Yeah, and I think that there is a time and a place for standardized testing. I think there needs to be some kind of measure of how the schools are doing. Absolutely. There needs to be some kind of success measure, but it needs to be done in a way that's valuable. Like we have a test that I actually really, really like. We did it in Baltimore County. They do it where my kids go to school. I'm going to use the Cover FX contour palette that we got in BoxyCharm. I've been using this thing all the time. I really, really like it. I'm going to do contouring first with this guy right here. It's called MAP. M-A-P. And what it does is, okay, so they give you question number 1. Okay, let's say you get question number 1 right. They give you question number 2. Question number 2 is going to be about the same level of difficulty as question number 1. Let's say you get that one right. Okay, so now the test bumps up the difficulty because you've gotten 2 right. And it continues to bump up the difficulty until you get one wrong. Then when you get one wrong, it gives you one of the same difficulty. Let's say you get it wrong again, it bumps it down a little bit. So it's individualized to each kid based on the level of difficulty. So it gives a really good measure of exactly where the kid is. Where with the standardized testing, everybody gets the same questions. A lot of times the questions are way too hard for kids that struggle. Like it's so far beyond where they're at that it's like, there's no way they're going to do well. Like they don't even have a shot. Like they don't have a shot to show what they can do. All it measures is what they can't do. So I think that's we're like getting at all kinds of stuff that are not makeup related. But that's the big problem with standardized testing is it doesn't show what kids can do. Like it's just and imagine being one of those kids, okay? You're 9 years old and you're in a room for an hour and a half answering questions you have no idea how to answer because it's just too far beyond. I mean, because the questions are set for a child at the end of that grade that's met the requirements for the end of that grade, but you've got a good percentage of kids, let's say maybe depending on the school, you may have 25 to 50% of the school that are struggling learners for whatever reason, which is a whole nother topic I could get into. And sitting there for an hour and a half for like a week, like 2 weeks, or like sometimes it's 2-3 hours, you know, with breaks in between for like 2 weeks, taking a test on things that you have no idea how to answer. I mean, what do we put our kids through? You know, it's just crazy. So it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, you know, and they're little they've only been breathing 9 years and making them sit that long. Like there's so much that is just so ridiculous. But anyway, there is a possibility. There is a way for testing to get a baseline measure without and actually find valuable information for kids. There is a way. It's just the people that are the higher ups just don't listen. They don't care. They want to do what they want to do. They don't care whether it's logical or not. They're just doing what they want to do. You know? Yes, Melrose. This is a great quote. Einstein, everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. And that is like 100 and like, if there was such a thing as 110%, like, yes. Yes. All right. We're going to use this shade Brightener. I haven't used this on my cheeks yet. And this brush is not the right brush, but we'll use it anyway. Oh, that's so pretty. I love this palette. This is one of my favorite things I've gotten in BoxyCharm like ever, I think. That is so pretty. Yes, that is so true. Cheryl says, for us older folk, the new math is crazy. Memorizing addition, subtraction, multiplication will never leave you and use in my daily life. You know, my kids still have to memorize their tables. They still have to memorize them. Like it's still a thing. Like, and the new math stuff, the whole idea behind the new math stuff is that you, it teaches kids different ways to achieve like the end result so that they can choose then which one works best for them. And then also it helps them to understand the why behind it. So instead of just learning the division algorithm and, you know, learning how to calculate it, like for like long division, let's say, it teaches them why the long division algorithm works. So there is a logic behind it, and I don't hate it, to be honest with you. I don't hate it. It's just different, and it's kind of weird. All right, we've got 2 Lorac lipsticks. I think I'm going to try Trendsetter because it's a little bit lighter. I just want like a Your Lips But Better. There you go. That works. I like that. I love these Lorac lipsticks. These were sent for review as well. Well, not for review. They were sent with the option to review. These were from their holiday collection. They're super fab. Oh, I never put any powder on. I should probably put a little powder on. This is the Peach Perfect powder. I did get one of these sent in PR, but I bought this one. Melody says, I sometimes can understand the complex and the struggle with the basics. Standardized tests definitely do not work for people like me. Yeah, I mean, and I don't think that it's a good measure. That's the problem. I have no problems with teachers being measured for their performance. They absolutely should be. I mean, not performance, but like how the kids are doing, because that's a whole nother topic. But it needs to be fair, and it needs to be accurate, an accurate representation of what the kids can do, not what they can't do. Give them a shot, you know? Seth says, Common Core math is BS. Like, why spend so much time simplifying it when you're just making it more difficult? Well, the reason why is because they're trying to teach kids why the math works, not just that it does work, so that they can use it to apply to different situations. That's the logic behind it. Does it kind of go out and back a little bit? Yeah, but there is a reason for it. I can't say, you know, for every single topic that I agree with the way that it's taught, but there is a reason behind it. And I personally don't have a problem with like the new Common Core math. I just feel like, well, at least from what I learned of it, from what I taught of it, I didn't have a problem with it. Just because it's a good way for them to understand how numbers work and give them more number sense, so that they can apply it in different situations in their life. Lindsay says the teacher needs to be able to have more input. I agree. Nicole said, even as teachers said, the results don't really matter. It's mostly the state breathing down their necks. Yeah, for standardized tests, they don't matter. Because what happens is the kids take the standardized test, and then, which is PARC. I think that's what everybody's taking right now. They take the standardized test, and then the teachers don't get the results until like the very end of June, if not the beginning of the next school year. And it's not a good measure of student performance, because like I was saying, like it shows that some kids can achieve and can do those particular things. But then for the kids that aren't there yet, it shows nothing. Like it just shows that they can't do that one thing. That's not helpful. Like, I want to know what they can do, not just what they can't do. It's completely pointless. And it is just for, and this is the thing, this is what kills me, is that so much is based on the results of those tests. Like real estate is based on the results of those tests. You know, you go to greatschools.com and your school has like, say, like a 3 rating or whatever out of 10. And then people aren't going to want to move to that neighborhood because they're going to assume the schools are bad. And then that's just going to make it more difficult, because then you're only going to have, like, I don't know, it's a crazy cycle, you know? And it's based on this test that's not even really valid when it comes to measuring kids and what they can do. So, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. It's just makeup. I've always struggled with math, and Common Core just makes me look really dumb. Common Core is not dyslexia friendly. Agreed. And I think that it just needs to be taught in a different way to kids that struggle. And that was what I did. That was what my job was to teach it in a different way. So like, for example, with like division, this is one of my favorite lessons that I ever did. Okay, so I had to teach multiplication and division, and like the relationship between multiplication and division. And we opened a pizza shop. So I had these pizza slices, and we used the stapler as a phone, and we made chef hats. So we took a sentence strip. You know, sentence strip is like a long piece of like, I don't know, like almost like manila folder, but like it's like a long piece and you can write on it and put things up. So we rolled it around, and then we stapled it, and we took a piece of paper and we folded it over the top. So you see this, so it's like we fit the sentence strip around their head, and then we took a piece of paper and then stapled that on each side. And those were the chef hats. And then we had these foam I bought foam at the craft store and they had pepperonis on the pizza. So I would pick up the stapler and go, hello, this is Mary, and I'd like to order 7 pieces of pizza with 3 pepperonis on each pizza. Can you do that? Okay, all right, we'll see you soon. And then I'd hang up, and then we'd set the timer for, depending on whether we were trying to get them to do it fast or if it was new, we didn't set a timer. And then they would have to make it, and then they'd have to tell me how many pepperonis they had all together, and then we would flip it for division. But it was just fun, and then it was hands-on, and they could see how it worked, and like those kinds of things, really help with, like, those were the kinds of lessons that I love to do, where like the more creative ones where they were real hands-on with stuff. And then we would use that as a recess activity. So once we were done teaching it, the materials were available to them and they could just play, and they could use the stapler themselves and call each other and make the different things. Or it could be like a small group, thing for them to do. So it was like stuff like that, which I think that's the kids that struggle need that kind of thing. We did a lot of dancing, a lot of songs, a lot of beats, like a lot of, not raps, because obviously I can't, do that very well, but like a lot of like repetitive beat kind of stuff. It was fun. I missed that part a lot. Allie says, my 3rd grade teacher taught us long division with a song. I still sing it in my head when he used division. Nice. And we used to do relay races. We did dad, mother, sister, brother. And then they had a line, and each one had to do like a long division. They had to do a step, and we would do like relay races and stuff. First we would practice. We wouldn't race at first. And then once they got good at it, then we would have them like race. It was fun. Lindsay says, LMAO, Jen rapping. I'm actually not a horrible rapper. It's embarrassing to say, but like I'm not terrible at it. I'm not good at it, but I could do it enough that the kids were amused. Let's just say that. They were probably just laughing at me, not with me, but yeah, sometimes, every once in a while. No, I'm not doing it. I can't. My husband's actually pretty good at it. I'm not even going to try. Sandy, I taught mostly 4th and 5th grade was where I spent most of my time, but I did teach anywhere from K to 5, depending on the year. So Sarah says Game of Thrones. Yes, I'm watching Game of Thrones. I just hit season 2. It's growing on me. I had a little bit of tough time with the first season. There were some things that were difficult to watch. But it's growing on me. I'm starting to enjoy it more. I'm starting to get a little more attached to the characters, and I can pronounce them hopefully properly now. Oh my gosh, I get so much crap when I don't say something with the right tone, like with the right accent on the right tone. It's like, ugh. So I think I can do better now. Mm-hmm. My fat face talking about the ABC song. Yeah. I mean, that's just something that I think definitely needs to continue to be being taught. Absolutely. Beauty Mama says, don't get connected to the characters. I won't. I've heard that. Cindy says, mad respect for anyone who works in special ed. I wouldn't have had it any other way. Like, I loved my kids that struggled, because I, believe it or not, like, you probably don't know this, but I struggled when I was in school. I had a lot of trouble. My reading comprehension for not fiction is terrible. I am like the slowest reader when it comes to fiction. Nonfiction, I'm much better, but for whatever reason, fiction, like it takes me forever to read a book. My mother-in-law can read like a novel like this in one day. Like, she's ridiculous, but I just can't do that. So as someone that struggled, my brother was like sick smart. My brother like flew through school. It was super easy for him, but like I could not do what he did. So it was hard for me. I go back and I look at my middle school, like work, like my mom still has all my middle school, like notebooks and stuff of my writing. And like every single year, it's like, you look at the notebook in the beginning, it's like D, C, D. And then by the end of the notebook, it's like A's and B's. But it's like, you can tell like there was like this significant growth where I was like struggling. I did not have it easy in school. I did not do great in school. So I know that struggle. I know that feeling of not feeling smart. And I still struggle with that. Like when I make a mistake and it makes me feel really stupid, like it like hits me in my soul. Like, so, you know, I get that feeling, and that's why I wanted to do special ed. Nice. Amanda says, I taught my son everything he would learn in kindergarten myself. So now that he's in kindergarten, they're teaching him Common Core math. He has completely outpaced the class. Good for you and good for him. That's awesome. And hopefully they can keep up with him. That's the struggle, because you'll have kids like your son, and then you'll have kids that are super behind, and then everything in between. That's the struggle of a teacher. Alice says, we homeschool. I'm in Michigan. There are a ton of homeschooling families. It's been wonderful for so many reasons. Yeah. And I knew a family that my daughter did ballet with back in the day, that she homeschooled her kids, and she did some of the coolest stuff with her kids. And they had like a little homeschool little pod, like I forget what they called it. Was it collective, or I don't know. I forget what they called it, but there were like 5 or 6 families, and then they would get together like during the day, and they would like teach each other's kids different topics. So it was like a little mini school kind of thing. It was neat. She did a lot of really cool stuff with them too. It's just makeup. I struggled with reading until 5th grade. That's when they discovered my learning disability. Now I can read a book in a day or 2. Nice. No, I can't. I can't at all. No way. All right, we've got about 4 minutes left. What do you all want to chat about? The makeup is done. We're doing something nice, light. No makeup today. Nice and chill. I don't know why. Lately, I've been feeling like any foundation on me looks like too much. Palermo wants to know if I have a dog. I do. His name is Sam, and he's a Brittany, and he's amazing. April says Sesame Street is fantastic for special needs. They have their autistic character, Julia. Sesame Street is fantastic. Sesame Street and Electric Company was great too. Like there are a lot of good ones. We used to watch Between the Lions a lot. That was a PBS show. I remember showing that a lot in school. But I use a lot of those clips for like, especially when I was teaching phonics. I used a lot of clips from Electric Company and Between the Lions. Lindsay says Supernatural. I didn't finish the episode from yesterday. I was busting my butt trying to get the show up, so I didn't even get a chance to watch the whole thing. Usually I watch it as I'm editing, but I didn't finish it. I'm like halfway through the episode from the other day. Yeah, Tiffany says, I wish I could homeschool my son with ADD. Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough when you don't seem to fit into the mold of what school expects for you. Louise says, hi, Jen. Much love from the Philippines. Hello, hello. Oh, thank you. What? Hello, dog paw. Hello. There he is. Donna. Hi, baby. Hi. You're just floating in the air. Hi, honey. You're so chill. He's so chill. Come here. Sam, come. No, come. Come here. Hi. Come up here. You want to come up here? Come here. Come up. Up. No? He's just walking around me. You want to come up? No, he's just listening to my husband right now. He's not listening to me. He's trying to listen because my husband was probably just giving him commands. So he's like focusing on my husband right now. Flying on
chat to bring you the samwad.
He's so sweet. He's such a good dog. All right, bye. Thank you. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he is a Brittany Spaniel. Yeah, he's amazing. Lana says, do you watch Jane the Virgin? I haven't. He's such a good boy. Oh my gosh, he's like the best dog ever. Oh, Natalie's here. Hi, Natalie. Amanda says, was loving Dexter, but they've messed it all up. You know, I stopped watching Dexter. I heard that the ending was bad, so I just stopped watching it. I don't even remember what season. I stopped watching on like the 3rd season or something like that. So Nikki says, it's low-income kids with disabilities that suffer the most as parents simply can't afford alternative learning. Absolutely. And they don't have time to help their kids with homework at home. Like my kids come home and I can sit with them and I can help them. Like my daughter's starting to get into math that I can't do. Like she comes to me and she's like, Mommy, I don't understand this problem. I'm like, I don't know, you're past me. She's in like the higher level stuff. So she's in 5th grade, but she's not doing 5th grade stuff. She's doing like, I don't want to sound like a bragging kind of person, but she's doing higher stuff is my point. So she's getting to the point where I can't help her anymore. And she gets so mad at me. Like, I'm not doing it on purpose. I don't know how to do this. Like, Google it, man. I don't know. Can't do it, but I can still sit and help my son. And like low income families, a lot of them, they can't sit with their kids and help them. Like some of them don't have the education to help them. Some of them don't have the time because they're working all these jobs, or they've got a lot of kids, you know, and they're trying to juggle lots of kids. I mean, a lot of the things I'm saying can apply to a lot of different, I don't want people to think I'm just saying this only applies to low income families, because some of this stuff is for higher income families too, but it's a totally different life. And I think that, you know, people that are in the higher ups don't take that into account, like how hard people try and work to get out of low income situations. A lot of people. All right. It has been 1 hour. How's everybody doing? Are we good? Are we done for today? Oh, Karen says special needs mom here. I just love what you're doing. Thank you. I always, like I was saying on Periscope, when I do collabs, I don't ever see, like, honestly, like, I don't ever foresee ever doing a collab unless the brand just isn't into it, of like some kind of donation for anything that I do. I can't ever see. Like, honestly, like I just, like, that's just what I want to do when I do like collabs, or if I ever sell anything or whatever. I would love to do some kind of donation with it, but I don't know. I mean, you never know what, I don't like to say things 100% solid, but for future and things, but you know, and it would also depend on like the profit margin. So like if I did merch, if I'm only making, like, say the shirt sells for $15 or $20 and I'm only making $1, you know, like if I'm trying to keep costs down, then I probably wouldn't donate anything, because it's mostly going toward like, you know, I'm not really making that much. So donating would be kind of silly. But for like things like this, I can always see myself donating something to something. But anyway, say one more comment. We'll see. Natasha, hi Jen. My son has mild intellectual disability. He can read a grade 2. He can read grade 2, but can't really spell. Any advice, please? He's 13. I would definitely just set up a meeting with his teachers and talk about what you can do at home, because every kid is so unique and different. It's hard to give specific advice for specific children. Like I did tutoring of a kid just like that. We did private tutoring through the county because they found, the mom really pushed for it, and they found that the school couldn't provide free and appropriate public education. The acronym is FAPE. They couldn't provide in the school system because he wasn't achieving, he wasn't growing, he wasn't making any growth. So the law is the school must provide free and appropriate public education. If your child isn't making growth, then this one mother got a private tutor, which was me, supplied by the school system. Every area is different. So I worked with this kid one-on-one, and within the year or so I worked with him, he bumped up like 4 grade levels in reading. But that was this one kid with one-on-one help from a trained special educator. So like I would say, just set up a meeting with your child's teacher and see what you can do to support him at home, because they know him best. And your kid is probably different than the kid that I worked with in lots of ways. But anyway, all right. Yep, you got to advocate for your kid. If your kid is not making progress, you got to like talk to the teachers, go to the IEP meetings, and talk to them and say, hey, what are we going to do to change this? What can we do? You know, squeaky wheel gets the grease, man. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. I hate to say that, but that's the way it works, man. You got to like go in there and like fight for your kid. It's not that they don't want your kid to succeed. It's not that they're trying not to do things, but it's like, you know, you got to go in and tell them, you know, what are we going to do? What's the plan? How are we going to make this better? Not in a mean way, but like in a way, like, let's work on this together. So, yep. All right. I got to go. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to go. I don't know what we're going to do before the movie. This movie isn't until later, but thank you, Justin. So much hugs and love, Justin. I appreciate you. But yeah, I'm going to go and we'll see you back. No chat next week. No live chat next week. No What's Been Makeup next week. I'll be at IMATS with John. We're going to be there on Saturday. So hopefully I'll run into some of you there. Have a great couple of weeks. In content this week, we're going to do the skincare routine, the drugstore skincare routine. And then I'm going to do cute or poop on all those first impressions that I did last month. And kind of give you an update after I've been using them for a while. So thank you again for being here. Mad love to you. And I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye.